Good day, everybody. My name is Alexander Loktyunov, and I will moderate the session today. Today we have demo day of our acceleration program run in partnership with Technopark Kaliber, Ariel University, and Moscow Seed Fund. The program for today, we will start with the short introduction by partners. Then we will have expert board presentation, and we will have 7 pitches of the highly attractive startups that are going to develop their business in Israeli market. Then we have conclusions and a short session of networking. Our online session will end after the conclusions and presentations. I would like to underline the great role of Ariel University, which actually took a key role in project expertise and education sessions during the last period of time. We also would like to underline that this session is just the preparation for the big plan for 2022, when our startups are going to have major steps with Ariel University experts, partners, funds, and industrial partners. I will remind you that our program was opened by Ambassador of the State of Israel to the Russian Federation, Alexander Ben-Zvi. We were focused on the key area for startups. These are biotechnology projects, IT, and medicine. All projects run through the pitch training process, which actually should show us good results in presentation, business concept, the founders, the team, the market, business model, financial plan, and offer to investors, if any. We will have 7 pitches today. All of them are presented here in Technopark Kaliber. We will have also expert work, and our experts are oriented to the criteria that were suggested by Ariel University. Key criteria are team, product, the market, quality of the presentation, and attractiveness for venture funding. I would like to present, for the introduction, the chairman of the board of directors of Калибр, Михаил Коган.
Здравствуйте, уважаемые коллеги. Я буду по-русски говорить, а
Недостаточно.
Значит, уважаемые коллеги, мы проводим второй поток акселератора. Значит, выбрана нами была, как вам всем известно, персонализированная медицина. И вышли как бы 17 проектов у нас. Это, когда нам коллеги из
We're on second stage of our accelerator, and we pre-selected 17 projects with Ariel University, and we are working with them.
Когда нам коллеги из Рильского университета предложили такую тему, мы немножко, честно говоря, волновались, поскольку это не совсем наша тема, и все-таки тяжело найти проекты, а главное, для этого нужны были квалифицированные эксперты хорошего уровня. Но нам кажется, что при помощи Рильского университета мы нашли таких экспертов, сегодня еще подключатся эксперты из Австрии, насколько мне известно, да, Кристина?
These goals of the program in biotechnology and medicine were challenging for us because the challenge was to find experts and good projects in this area and present them to Ariel University.
Конечно, к великому сожалению, в связи с обстоятельствами очная программа не состоялась, очно не можем работать, работаем заочно. В моем понимании это достаточно тяжело, но тем не менее, что делать сейчас вся жизнь у нас такая.
Unfortunately, we cannot welcome our partners from Israel here in Moscow, but today the conditions are so.
Но тем не менее, эксперты в активной работе, и все проекты будут отслушаны или прослушаны в видеозаписи, и все проекты получат обратную связь. Об этом мы договаривались, я думаю, что это будет исполнено.
Notwithstanding that, all experts are online, really motivated, and will take care carefully, will go through all presentations.
Это мероприятие крайне в 2021 году, да, особенно поэтому важно и для нас, и для вас. Хорошо было бы хорошо закончить год. Значит, все эксперты с выигравшими компаниями, Рильский университет продолжит в индивидуальном режиме. У нас есть такая договоренность. В компании, которая особенно заинтересует, я не могу сказать, сколько им будет, но тем не менее, компании, которые заинтересуют, они будут, с ними проведена будет индивидуальная работа, в каком формате сказать тяжело, но вплоть до привлечения инвестиционных компаний зарубежных.
This is the last but not least event for the program, and all projects will continue in 2022 with the experts and from Ariel University.
Я вам напоминаю, что партнерами на этом потоке у нас акселерационной программы является Израильско-Российский деловой совет и ГБУ Агентство промышленного развития.
I would like to remind that Israeli Business Council partners and also the government organization for business development in Moscow is also the partners of the program.
Некоторые проекты, так было уже у нас в предыдущем потоке, будут включены в банк технологий, что для вас в любом случае может дать для вас положительный эффект.
Some projects will be included in the Bank of Technologies, in the Bank of Technologies of Moscow, which will have good outcomes for you.
Так как в банке технологий предприятия туда обращаются предприятия для того, чтобы искать вот как раз новые технологии, и инновационные компании их очень интересуют именно вот через банк технологий.
Because many corporations scout new projects and technologies in this bank.
Ну и пользуясь случаем, я анонсирую, что ПАО «Калибр» в своей специальной номинации отметит компанию, которая будет соответствовать целям, задачам технопарка, нашего технопарка. Это будет специальный приз ПАО «Калибр».
And we will have a special prize from Technopark Caliber for the company that fully meets the criteria of Technopark.
Ну, он определен победителем, да, кстати, всех номинаций будет определено уже, к сожалению, в 2022 году. Программа немножко затянулась, но я думаю, что это говорит только о качественном подходе.
We will announce our prize in 2022, and this shows our attention and quality process to the program.
Ну, а сейчас бы я хотел предоставить слово нашему коллеге, ректору Арельского университета Альберту Пинхасову, если он на линии.
And now we would like to introduce and welcome Albert Pinhasov, rector of Ariel University.
I think it will be a little bit weird if we will speak English. To my knowledge, everybody who participates today speak Russian fluently. Also, our honored guest from Austria, Mikhail Uston and Rafael Uston, to my knowledge, they pretty well understand Russian. So if you don't mind, I will deliver my talk in Russian. I think it will be much more convenient to everybody. Я извиняюсь, но мне кажется, что все, кто находится сегодня, большинство из них довольно-таки хорошо понимают, как именно по-русски, поэтому, если вы не возражаете, то я скажу несколько слов на русском языке. Прежде всего, я хочу поздравить всех с наступающим Новым годом, и чтобы этот Новый год он был для нас лучше, чем старый. И вот этот омикрон наконец-то решил эту проблему и привел всю эту пандемию уже к какому-то логическому решению. Мы на это очень надеемся. Хочу поблагодарить Михаила Александровича Когана и Кристину Сергеевну Зарубину, скажу в скобках, моих очень хороших друзей, за то, что вот совместная акселерационная программа между технопарком и университетом продолжает активно развиваться. Это непросто, и мы смогли доказать, что могут быть очень хорошие отношения не только между двумя странами, а также между всеми разными единицами. То есть мы академическая единица и технопарк, который совокупляет в себе также и технологические какие-то дисциплины, а также очень хорошо внедряется и в академическую сферу, и это начинает работать. Для нас это важно по нескольким критериям. Во-первых, отношения между Израилем и Россией, они укрепляются, они усиливаются. Я думаю, такие вот проекты, они только усиливают отношения, хорошие дружественные отношения между двумя странами. А также в Израиле все, что связано с технологическим трансфером, начинает приобретать новые какие-то рамки. Я думаю, здесь мы можем создать очень хорошую модель технологического трансфера не только между двумя странами, а также между разными единицами. И вот в рамках этого первого этапа у нас мы отобрали 18 проектов, большинство из них в рамках медицины. И оценку проектов, конечно, проводил экспертный комитет, который и анализировал и коммерческий потенциал, в первую очередь, этих проектов, и новизну, естественно, аппликативность в заданном профессиональном поле. Также планируем дать несколько вводных лекций на эту тему. Несколько уже было дано, несколько которые будут и в будущем. Мне очень важно также отметить, что сегодня в теме университета присутствуют также очень наши почетные гости, которые также менторы университета. Среди них ученые и предприниматели из Вены, это Рафаэль и Михаил Устаны, Ариэль Брискин из Израиля. Кроме того, сегодняшние видео, они будут отправлены другим менторам программы, которые в силу ряда причин не смогли быть сегодня на сессии. Они тоже предоставят свое экспертное мнение. И хочу также отметить, что Министерство науки Израиля в принципе одобрило и на самом деле выдало большой грант Ариэльскому университету, довольно-таки очень престижный, на создание инкубатора для продвижения технологических разработок. И мы очень надеемся, что одно из этих направлений это будет technology transfer в международной сфере, где мы рассматриваем также технопарк Калибр как основной партнер, который, в принципе, уже идет с нами очень много лет. В финале хочу сказать в завершении, что мы надеемся, что лучшие проекты смогут приехать в кампус университета для дальнейшего продвижения и развития своих идей. И мы очень надеемся, что эта программа, она также очень полезная для всех участников. И удачи всем! Большое спасибо за внимание.
Thank you very much for an intro and presenting the capacities and opportunities that you offer to the program. This is really valuable for us. Now I would like to mention on the behalf of the Moscow Seed Fund Moscow that they are the partners of the program and they will hand a grant in 2022 for the best project. And for this purpose we invited experts accredited by the Moscow Seed Fund. Namely, these are investors that are working together with the Moscow Seed Fund. I would like to introduce you Anastasia Ilyina, partner of the venture fund Selling Startup. Anastasia, hello, thank you that you're with us. And I would like to present you Dabakh Arseny, venture partner at RMG Partners, also the venture partners of the Moscow Seed Fund. Arseny also invited Dmitry Fadin from the In Vitro. In Vitro is the main medical test company in Russia, the chain of medical tests. Dmitry joined us online. Also, Ekaterina Yeliseyeva, that are closely working with the PrideTech Fund, also grounded in Israel as well, is online with us. And Kniginin Dmitry from Private Capital Ru, also the partner of the Moscow Seed Fund, is online with us. And I also would like to thank the experts from Ariel University, namely Michael Ustan, the founder of CEO of Elba Holding Company from Austria, and his team, Rafael Ustan, Dominique Matushak, Andreas Gerber, Anya Bizert, that are online with us today. Ariel Briskin, ECPA Group International, thank you. And Nadezhda Lermakov, the Director of Strategic Project Development at Ariel University, she's also online with us. And we know that all recorded presentations will be handed to Eyal Goldzand, who is the head of Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center at Ariel University. Eleonora Shkolnik, the head of MBI Olim and Professor Department of Economic and Business Management, and Doron Ben Ami, the CEO of Shizim Excel Innovation Center and Accelerator that focuses on the biomedical startups and their expansion in the Israeli market. So we have pretty good team of experts. Thank you very much once again. And now the time for the show. I would like to present the first presenter, Ivan Jumin, the CEO and founder of InBio. Ivan, the floor is yours. Good day, my name is Jumin and I'm co-founder of Russian medtech company Indio. Our company specializes in R&D and production of products and services in the sphere of life science. And today we will present our new medical product, which we are actively starting to implement into medical practice. It is Melnikov cervical dilator, innovative modified surgical instrument. So, first of all, we have a really cool team. Our scientific mentor is Vladimir Melnikov, PhD and professor in the sphere of gynecology. Me as a CEO and my partner Nikita Kazarin as a CBO. We are entrepreneurs in the sphere of medical technologies. It should be mentioned that our team has experience in R&D, production, registration and market launch of medical products. So this year we have successful case of exit for our product to Big Pharma after 4 years of promotion and brand implementation on the Russian Federation. So you can see on the slides that we have our own production site in Samara region. And it should be mentioned that we didn't attract any venture investments yet. We only reinvest our own funds in the development of a new product, and now we are telling about this product in more detail. So let's start with the problem we are solving. To this day, the instrument for expanding the cervical channel is a classic instrument, Hegara dilator. After its application, post-operative complications occur in 20% of cases, such as barotrauma, inflammatory processes, endometriosis, and in some cases, chorionic embolism. Uterine perforation is also a common complication of using dilators. Sterilization remains relevant as well. Until now, the Hegara dilator is a metal reusable tool, which increases the risk of infection for the patient. So our team took the traditional instrument, the Hegara dilator, and made several significant modifications. The first modification is the addition of a through channel in order to prevent barotrauma of the uterus. The second modification is addition of a limiter in order to prevent the injury of uterus and its perforation. The third modification, the instrument is made disposable in order to eliminate the expensive and multi-stage sterilization process. Our team has already conducted 12 months clinical trials on 170 patients, and we found that the use of our instrument leads to reduction of immediate postoperative complication by 42% and long-term complication by 68%, and reduction of labor costs for the manipulation by 52% due to the elimination of multi-stage sterilization process. It should be said that the instrument can be used in 99% of all uterine surgeries as well as a classic instrument. All indications for use are presented on the slide. It should be noted that the work with our instrument is similar to work with the classic instrument, the Hegara dilator, and doesn't require a doctor to acquire new skills. Now we have launched a standard pack that includes 8 most commonly used sizes of the instrument. It's presented on the slide. And we are planning in the near future to present 3 additional kits. In total, there will be 19 sizes of the instrument. Let's move on to the market research. The gynecology surgical instrument market is expected to reach $3.7 billion by 2028, with annual growth rate at 7% during the forecast period. Our product is designed for B2B and B2G segments. Their customers are more than 1,000 gynecological departments throughout Russia, where manipulations with the cervical channel are performed. For only one indication, the application in the IVF cycle, the available Russian market is more than $2 million. This slide shows our competitors. Our direct competitor is a classic instrument, the Hegara dilator, and the main advantage of our instrument over them is safety of use and reduction of complication. This is our roadmap. Technical, toxicological, and clinical trials were already performed, and now we have the status of a finished product, and now looking for a strong partner in order to make joint market launch and international expansion. A few months ago, we received a registration certificate for a medical product, and our intellectual property is protected by a patent of Russian Federation. It should be noted that our project is supported by leading innovation centers. This is Skolkovo Foundation, where residents since 220. It's a Moscow Center for Innovations in Medical Technologies, and of course our alma mater, Samara State Medical University. We see the mission of our company in making a complete transition to a reusable, to disposable instruments from reusable instruments by creating modified, easy to use and recyclable instruments made of polymer materials. We invite you to join us in the realization of this ambitious mission. Now we are looking for $1.5 million of investments in order to accelerate the speed of the development of our company and quick capture of a significant market share. We are planning to take 6% of the market in 5 years in a positive outlook and 3% of the market in a negative outlook. We are planning to organize full cycle manufacturing, implement our marketing strategy, and get access to international markets. We have plan and vision of R&D and registration of a new modified products in order to expand our product line. Let's talk about the efficiency of investment cost. NPV of the project is $3.5 million. Investor internal rate of return is 58%, and payback period for investor is 5 years. We believe that the project will be successful in Israel because Israel has large and rapidly growing medical market and one of the top destinations for medical tourism in the world. So let's realize this project together. It was in BO team. Thank you for attention. We are now ready to answer your questions.
Ivan, thank you very much. I would like to underline first that experts are welcome to ask questions, and while you are preparing to ask questions, offline and online as well, both, every expert that participate now, please ask questions. I would like to underline that Ivan is developing these projects on his own money. So he's a successful businessman and he reinvests his own money in this startup, and this is not the first business for him. So that's great. And I would like to thank Ivan and hand you the certificate that you successfully run from acceleration Calibre training process, and you will also get the certificate for free use of the infrastructure, for some limited use of course, but nevertheless this is a good start to start infrastructure in the Technopark Calibre. Thank you. Dear experts, your questions. Maybe we will have online questions from the Ariel University experts. Then I will ask you a question myself. When we discuss the Israeli market, so you are probably planning the first steps on the market. How do you see the first steps? Which partners? Maybe you already performed these steps, what actually you did or you're planning to do in 2022, and namely, so what are the first suggestions to the Ariel University in concrete partners? So what are the expectations?
I think the first step to get to Israel market is it should be a registration procedure of medical product in Israel. We should modernize our registration protocol for Israel rules of the medical market. And the other first step is looking for a partner in Israel with whom we can make it joint market launch.
So the first step is registration of your devices. So I think this is a good start to begin the program with Ariel University in 2022. So I wish you all success. If we have some questions, this Arseny, please.
Yeah, I can ask a question.
Yes, of course. And then Arseny.
So I assume that you're aiming for the international market with your product. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I wondered, you discussed about registration. Have you applied to see FDA approvals? You haven't mentioned this.
Yeah, for each country it's other rules of registration of medical products, and in each country we should have a partner, just a distribution partner or partner, business partner, with whom we will do these procedures. FDA, we also our mission is to make a transition all over the world from the metal instruments that is now used to reusable instruments to disposable instruments like ours. And yes, we are planning to make FDA, but I think the FDA procedures are the strictest and the longest period. It should be the longest period to get this certification. So we should start with other markets.
I see. Yeah, see, I'm asking because usually in order to enter the Israeli market, so FDA and CE approvals could be very helpful to speed the process here. Because usually they will look into if this product already have CE or FDA in Israel, for example, in order to see if this product is suitable for the market in terms of regulation.
Okay, thank you. We will think about getting FDA certification, about reading these rules and what we should do first.
Ariel, thank you. Do you have more questions?
Yeah, I wondered in terms of your IP strategy. So you mentioned you already registered your patent in Russia. Have you considered about registering in other main US, Europe, China? Because from what I see, if I understand, the IP is mainly of the design, right? In the product. So it seems that it's not very hard to copy. Have you thought about your IP strategy?
Yes, we have IP strategy, and now we reinvest. With Skolkovo Foundation, we making the applications for the patents in other countries, such as Europe and first Europe. And then we have other countries in the list.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Arseny, please, your question.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions. First of all, thank you for presentation. I would like to ask you, who is your ideal partner in Israel or in other parts of the world? Because it seems that Russian market is too small for this product. And second, what is your plan, or what you foresee? What will be the exit for the investors that you're looking for? You mentioned there is a 5-year horizon, and will it be some kind of buyout, or it will be a strategic buy? Will you be able to be on the market selling the product at that time? A little bit on that.
Okay. Actually, we don't have ideal partner. We should discuss it with. We are looking for a partner, but we don't have an ideal partner because medical market supply is not like large players on the distribution. Players are not large actually in all countries. Like in Russia, it's a lot of small and medium suppliers to different regions. They're different. So I think in Israel, maybe I'm not right, it's also a lot of different distributors all over the country.
So the profile is that medical distributor is the one who you're looking for as a partner to enter Israel, right?
Actually, and yes and no, because we are looking also for a distribution partner and also for a business partner with whom we can make a big story. Strategy partner, maybe.
Who is this? So, I mean, the big farmers. Who is that you're looking for in terms of
other production company of medical devices. It's not pharmaceutical. It's medical devices company.
Arseny, I suggest to go to the next speaker and then to have a networking session with Ivan because you are here. So thank you very much for your interest.
Ivan, thank you. You can take your place. And I would like to invite the co-founder of the Messenger, Inna, please. Inna, please, the floor is yours. 5 minutes, please, and then answer some questions and answers from our experts.
So I'd like to present our project, Specialized Medical Messenger, abbreviated as Messenger, for remote monitoring of a patient by the attending physician between face-to-face visits, and its extension using artificial intelligence. We have a group of companies, Telepath, that means telemedicine for patients, and iPath, that means digital medicine for patients. And we develop and provide cloud platforms for medical facilities. And here are 6 our main cloud platforms for remote monitoring of patients. Me and Boris, he's sitting here, we are co-founders of Telepath and Telepath, but it's not our first startup. First was created by us in 2009. In 2015, the controlling stake of this project was bought by computing. Then in 2016, we sold the license to Kazakhstan for $300,000. And in 2017, the investor bought out the entire company, and with the money received, we founded Telepath LLC for creating new projects. In 2020, we came to Skolkovo with our new project Kaliber, and this subsidiary iPath. Here you can see all our certificates for software. So, besides us, but also Boris, not only co-founder, he is president of Russian Association of Artificial Intelligence. You can see 4 other members, it's key members, all of them are lead developers of our project. And all of them are in telemedicine from 12 to 9 years. Messenger is a ready-made telemedicine solution, which is especially important in pandemic. It's a SaaS platform which allows clinics, hospitals, and doctors to offer their patients new paid service, promote remote monitoring. The interaction between the doctor and the patient is carried out in a messenger-like style, that is hence the name of our project. But functionality of our system is much wider. Our system consists of web version, mobile version, and 2 mobile apps for doctor and patient for iOS and Android respectively. The key features of our platform is special monitoring scenarios for any modology and any patient. Scenario is the chatbot which doctor connected and doctor built himself. And it's free the doctor from a large number of team for the connection to the patient doctor. Intelligent agents are the blocks of these scenarios, and they are, for example, reminders about taking medications, of measurements, connected medical devices and gadgets, questions about health and condition, reminders of text, doctor visits, and any medical procedures. Here you can see the examples of implemented scenarios. Here the dynamic monitoring of parameters in defense of the intake of medications, the example of the questionnaire about the system of COVID-19, and part of our interface is our know-how, it's heat map. After patient fulfill all the items in the questionnaire, system automatically generates heat map in the colors of traffic light. And the doctor can understand the condition of the patient at a glance. If it's red light, so the alarm signal will be generated, and the doctor has to pay attention on it. And if it's green light, he can pay attention for this light. Oh, sorry. So in 2018, before the pandemic, we organized a survey among the different kinds of patients. And most of them, about 70%, told that they were ready to pay for such services, for remote consulting. And I think that during the pandemic it will be more. So these are groups of patients who are ready to pay for this service and who are mostly interested in it. It's patients after surgery and other inpatient treatment, especially in the period of rehabilitation or recovery. The chronic patients of any kind of diseases, pregnant and preparing for echo, parents of their children, and disabled and mobility impaired patients, aged people. So you can see how we grew from the beginning. So here is the growth of messenger income from 2017, from $55,000 to 2021 to $406,000. And messenger today is more than 50 clinics and hospitals, more than 10,000 patients, more than 40 scenarios. And our largest project is the net of clinics 21st century, with the participation of 200 doctors, thousands of patients, and 35 new specialized monitoring scenarios, besides the 40. And 8 contracts with the pharmaceutical companies using messenger. Here you can see they are well-known companies, and we have already completed contracts or valid contracts, and the purpose of all these companies is to monitor the effects of the medication on patients and to identify adverse events. Here are the devices of telemonitoring which are already integrated in Messenger. And at the upper side, the tighter care devices made from Israel, and they are integrated into Messenger too. The largest projects within Messenger are Messenger Cardio, Messenger Care, and Messenger Prenatal. More than 10, 8, and 6 scenarios respectively. Functionally, our platform has no competitors in Russia, but there are similar projects in demand in the world. There are 4 examples of them. For example, Cadence from USA, for remote care of chronic patients at home. It was started in August of 2021 with $41 million. Now its valuation is $1 billion. And the company only expects to employ 155 clinicians by the end of July 2022. It's much less than we have now. And others for mostly diabetic patients, for chronic patients, and the platform for patient medications. And you can see for sure that such investments and estimates indicate the expected explosive growth, even big jump over the telemedicine market, which we are waiting for. So why should you choose our project? There's some reasons, and among them, it is a completely ready turnkey cloud solution which doesn't require installation, hardware, and software cost. It can be immediately remotely connected in anywhere in the world. It does not associate with Russian market and easily translated into any language. And many Russian-speaking doctors and patients in Israel can use Messenger as is. Sorry? What is it? So, and the last but not the least, the implementation of our project is much cheaper than any project of our foreign competitors. According to our experience, we think that potential customers of the Messenger platform in Israel are hospitals and clinics, pharmaceutical companies, and insurance companies. We can offer a university to become a part of our joint program on the rights of, for example, non-exclusive license as is. We can start from one clinic or one network of clinics. It can be exclusive license for the entire territory of Israel. It can be white label with possible customization. And Russian-speaking doctors in Israel hospitals or clinics can try messenger pilot project as is at any moment. And another option to organize a joint venture to promote our platform in Israel. We are mostly interested in this option because we already have our representative in Israel. It's our daughter Diana. She has been living in Israel for 5 years and is very fluent in Hebrew and English and naturally speaks Russian. That's all I'd like to tell you. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to hear your question.
Thank you very much. Now I realized that during last 4 years you grew up 8 times in revenue. That's great result, and probably you need a bigger market to have more revenues in the future.
Yes, we'd like to have it.
Thank you very much. Here is the certificate for you that confirms that you accomplished the training process by Kaliber Technopark, and this certificate also opens you opportunity to use infrastructure in the Kaliber Technopark. Yes. Thank you. Dear experts, do you have questions? I address both to experts here in our place and on Eleonora, please, the floor is yours. Eleonora is online. Please turn on your microphone. Eleonora, we need you to turn on microphone.
Okay, now it's working. I hope. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Congratulations for the event. Thank you for the presentation. It's impressive. My question is a specific one. We have a lot of different solutions for telemedicine in Israel and for sure in the world. And also we have some quite big startups dealing with this. The question is, what is your competitive advantage specifically regarding the language of your solution, and also maybe most important, how it is validated and how it is standing with international protocols and what we are doing here in Israel with all kinds of treatment that already allowed from far. Because telemedicine is in the very beginning, but it's already highly regulated. Okay, thank you.
Yes, our system is flexible. So all our competitors have a huge whole finished system, and our system is provide different scenarios for every nosology and every specific patient, and it will be done from intelligent agents, which are reminders and so on. And it can be chosen by doctor. We don't advise the doctor how to do it. We just the platform to fulfill it. So your doctors may use your instruction, your method of QR patient and so on our platform with your intelligent agents. Our task is to fulfill it in a digital form. That's all. And it's not association with Russian market. It's just to fulfill all the tasks of the doctor. So it can be translated on any language. What about protocol? It's we don't connect it with protocol. So it's your business, the business of your doctors, clinics, and hospitals. We just the platform for them to do all their protocols on our platform.
Okay, thanks. Another question. I understand that you have all your data on cloud storage.
Yes.
What is the location and what is the structure of cloud storage? Does it comply with GDPR requirements?
Sure, for sure. Yes, all our platforms, updates from our platforms, now we have servers at Rostelecom now, and we can use your servers in our country, so it will be on your servers. Yes. Rostelecom, it's all needed. We have in Russia it's 152 law, yes, and we almost
Comply with.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, good luck.
Nora, thank you. Inna, thank you. And I will address the experts online. If you have any questions, one more question, you can address this. If not, we will go to the next presenter. And I suggest those experts who are offline to network after the session. Any further questions? Inna, thank you. Thank you. Еще один вопрос. One more question. Okay.
From where?
The last question, please.
Yeah, so I wondered, I actually agree with Dr. Skolnik's remarks about that the Israeli market is very mature in terms of telehealth solutions. I wondered if you had tried to discuss with the Israeli HMOs already. You said you have Israeli representative. I think this probably would be one of the main channels.
But we'd like to have helpers there on this point. Yes, and Ariel University was the first who advised us to present our project to Israel.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part, but...
Actually, our previous experts who consulted this project said that Israeli market is too complicated, it is not possible to go in. And we persuaded Inna to present today. We prepared and to believe that everything is possible. Everything is possible. So she mentioned that someone earlier said here that it is not possible to go to the Israeli market. So we need to, this is our challenge, to prove that everything is possible.
Mm-hmm. I see. I would suggest to really investigate further and check what are the existing solutions in Israel in our field and probably go from there.
Maybe, but for our experience, there is no such functionality system with such flexible scenarios.
Okay.
Inna, thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to present the next speaker and the history of this application. So you need to know that there is a government fund, FASIRU, that every year grants around 1,000 grants to the Russian-based innovators who has a very good innovation in the field of medicine, new materials, etc. To take this grant, they select maybe more than one from hundreds. One applicant from hundreds. And then we have chosen 10 winners of this grant and offered these winners to the Ariel University. And from these 10, they selected one. So Alexander is one of the 1,000 who will present us the optical coherent elastography project. This is early stage. The floor is yours, 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Alexander. It's a big honor for me to present my project here. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Okay, optical coherent elastography, OC. Oh, I have it. What is it? It is physically, it is a software where gives an opportunity usual optical coherent tomography to obtain not only structural images but also stiffness maps. We have very big high diagnostic contrast in opposite to standard structural images. So it can be used in surgery, for example, for diagnostics of cancer. It has quick scanning, so it may be done intraoperatively, and subgroup resolution for very accurate operations. Also, it can be useful for cosmetology, for example, and dermatology, especially for anti-age cream procedures, because it obtains stiffness of a certain way, not a mean value of full sample. You can obtain stiffness of a certain way. Also, it obtains not an abstract value, it's a concrete physical value, where Young's modulus is also very important. Also, it can be useful for laboratory research. For example, for histologists who need to find where the most interesting morphological region, and you can use this device for it. We collaborate with, I'm a software producer, and I created this software. I'm working with Grigori Gelikonov. He is the co-founder of BioMedSec. We created web-open optical coherence tomographs. This company passed the break-even point. We created tomographs for different tasks. For example, for ears, we can do very thin probes that can see ear drums, childs, for example, that can hear very well. Also, we collaborate with our local medical university and with our local hospital. In my company, there is also scientist, big scientist Vladimir Zaitsev. He has more than 500 articles, and is very qualified person. And software persons. Our competitors. It is another OCT devices that can obtain only structural images, not histograms. And ultrasound devices, for example, fast frequency, big frequency ultrasound can obtain only structural images, but can obtain the same resolution. And usual ultrasound can obtain elastograms, but they have bad resolution. Also, we can see stiffness maps. For example, indenters that can be used, we obtain only mean value, and we obtain a concrete physical value when smart mirrors and photometers can obtain only some abstract values and tell something about elasticity scheme, for example. We see that in future we will start selling our software and obtaining persons from attractive buyers of tomographs. Our services, this laboratory tests with our collaborations. We plan make specific data processing for publication and so on, and sell consumable materials. We created Russian services, selectable, obtainable market, and global. For us, this market includes such companies like research laboratories that need in defining biomechanics of different materials. For example, bioprinting companies is very modern now. Educational institutions that need to obtain new technique things for laboratories of their students. Manufacturers of drugs and cosmetology companies that need to demonstrate effectiveness of their products in comparison with competitors. And hospital and private clinics that need to diagnose some diseases. So we have a financial plan. So now we have a lot of bio studies of different biotissues, and for example, here presented some of them. First of all, I want to tell you about our preclinical research of breast cancer surgery. It is important because researchers must know there is cells or no on the border of resection. If it is, he must cut more, and we can see cancer cells by our technique. Also, we can see brain cancer surgery with big contrast. It's 2 times here, but for more precious it increases. Surgery of autogenous ones, here OCT can control processing of changing mechanical properties of inputs. It must be certain, and after that you may continue some surgery. And laboratory research here, our device can see morphological segmentation, do morphological segmentation, and can see it's in vivo. So you can see morphological changes during some treatment and control it in any time. In the end, you can see, you can make a suggestion about effectiveness of this treatment, for example. And cosmetology, we can see different stiffness of people with different age, and can see impact of, for example, cream, hydration cream on the skin during its implementation. Thank you for your attention. We are ready for all types of collaboration. Please write, call me, and I'm ready for your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. I believe this project will be really interesting for AI, so the head of the Entrepreneurship Center and Innovation at Ariel University. Alexander, here's a certificate for you that you accomplished the program, Caliber. We wish you good luck and ask for questions from our experts. I am, by the way, impressed by the number of pilot studies you made in this project. No questions so far. Maybe we need to plan these questions in East. Okay, we have 2 questions, please. Who? Dmitry Fadin, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, only one question. Where you pass your clinical trials? In what institution?
When we pass what? Then please.
The question is about clinical trials. How many patients it was and where you covered?
It's for different body tissues. This count is different. For example, for breast cancer, we have more than 120 patients for breast cancer, for example. For another cases, it's different. What concretely you interested in?
Okay.
Okay, Dmitry representing the biggest medical test chain in Russia. So Dmitry, thank you very much that you are with us. And all other questions you can address us, and we will arrange communications with Alexander. Okay, thank you very much. More questions? Eleonora?
Thank you, Alexander, for your presentation.
Thank you for your attention. I'm listening to you.
I have 2 questions. First, regarding the patents, where did you apply for patent, and what is the status?
Our partners, it is our local medical university and our local hospital. Status.
Alexander, not patents, patents.
Patents. Oh, sorry. Patents. We have patents for software, is Rospatent registration of programs, and that's all at this time. We continue this work in the future. Thank you.
So it was more than a year before applied, or in 12 months, in the last time?
We have recently make one of registration in Rospatent, and we planning it to continue in next year. I don't know, maybe.
Alexander, when you patented your software? When?
It was 2 months ago, last patent.
So you applied 2 months ago for
Yes.
the software?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And second question, I participated in some projects based on PDT, photodynamic therapy, with great results also for medical and cosmetic use. How could you compare your approach with the already existing and very wide using in medical practices, photodynamic therapy, anti-cancer treatment, and also cosmetic treatment? It's very well known in Israel. So, if you should point, what is your sustainable competitive advantage in your approach?
Competitive advantage that we can see it is immediately. We tested PDT on mouse, so we have cancer on the ears, and after PDT we can see the effect in the stiffness after a few minutes of this operation. When we do it lately. So also we make this search. We have an article about this. We compare our method with angiography. We see visuals, so we see stiffness, and I may send you a link for this article. So our advantage that we can see it very fast. What is successful PDT or not? But we did it on the mouses, not cosmetology, not people. Okay, maybe in future continue this. Thank you.
I see we have one more question. I suggest that this is the last one for today. Ariel, did you have the question or someone else?
Yeah, I asked. I actually have a small suggestion, as we also, I think we have some room. So I think I can't tell obviously too much about the technology, but I would suggest to from many presentations I've seen in my life of startups, Israeli and other startups, I would suggest to improve a bit the presentation, because usually people start with more, because I couldn't understand very well your solution, and usually people when they start, they address very clear and explain the problem, start with the problem, and then the solution. It felt like you jumped very straight to the technology, and there was a lot of information on the PPT as well. These are the basic thoughts of think how to make it more simple. It obviously depends who you're speaking to, but this is my small suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I improve it in the future. Thank you.
Ariel, thank you very much. Alexandra, thank you very much. I would like to introduce the next speaker. Thank you. The next speaker, Olesya Chichinkina, Chief Communication Officer at NeuroChat.
Thank you so much. So yeah, today I will tell you about our project. This is a neurocommunication and neurotraining solution based on brain-computer interface technology. So when we have started our project in 2016, we were based on the problem that an overall number of disabled people increased annually, and also increased the number of people who needs some alternative ways of communication. So that's why we have started working on NeuroChat. It consists of two parts. Hardware part is a neuro headset which detects brain reactions, and software. On the photo you can see our usual keyboard which people normally use to input something. So the main goal was to let them communicate and let them communicate online. To input a letter or a word, a person has to concentrate on that letter on the virtual keyboard. The system will highlight different letters randomly, and when my letter is highlighted, I will have a specific brain reaction which will be detected by this neural headset. Thus, the system will understand what I want to input, and will input it in the chat. So we now have two main directions of our business. The first one is neurocommunication. That's how we started. And here we are speaking about people with such diagnoses as stroke, ALS, cerebral palsy, different neurotraumas, multiple sclerosis. And with this direction, we now work with about 40 regions in Russia and 62 clinics. And the important number here for us also that we have now about 100 people who use NeuroChat at home. So we wanted to give a solution for people to communicate day by day. That's the problem, right? They need to communicate, every day. And now they have it at home, and they do communicate with this at home. That was important for us. Second direction is neurotraining, cognitive training. Big part here is about the dementia prevention, but also work with children, well, with anyone who is interested in expanding their brain researches like memory, concentration, and other. We have a lot of points of novelty here, but I will just summarize. In general, the novelty is in that we have developed a solution. There are like some kind of these solutions in laboratories, but we needed to give something convenient, easy to use, the solution that won't require you any specific knowledge, medical, computer knowledge, and others. We have made it in 6 languages. It works online. It is connected with SMS, with Viber. We have our own social network, and we now even have developed a special kit that we will sell to schools for them to study neuro interface technology at schools. This is our team, the part of our team. Actually, I will just highlight some of us. Natalia Galkina, our CEO, she has 2 exits from previous businesses. Now she's the head of 2 companies, both in neurotechnology market, and she's one of the leaders of Industrial Union NeuroNet. I am working for more than 10 years in IT startups in Russia and Asia. Our scientific supervisor, Alexander Kaplan, maybe someone of you know him. He's like a rock star in the world of BCI. He's one of the most world's famous scientists in this area, and he's the head of BCI laboratory in Moscow State University. Speaking about markets, also we will highlight two directions, right? So like our serviceable and obtainable market for neurocommunication is on the level of 25 million users, which is like 3.5 trillion rubles, with like calculated rubles. And the more interesting maybe for us is the little part, that's the market of neurotraining. And the forecast for the next year, the world market is more than $8 billion. We see a great potential for our project. Here you can see our growth in sales and rental and like total numbers in items and in rubles. There's a lot of points for us to grow in our local market, and we'll have like plans for making medical certifications and go for neurorehabilitation. We have plans for extra services, adding extra services and other developments. But we also want to grow by going abroad and selling our product in Europe and in Israel and in Asia. We have one main competitor, that's an Austrian company, Jumin, but they have less services, they're more expensive, and it's only possible to use that solution in hospitals, no like home application. Please take a look to our business model. You can see we divided to business part and to business to client part. You can take a look to our unit economy, and you can see that we have a level of profitability for business to business of like 43%, and of B2C market is 33%. We sell it, we rent it, and we're now developing more and more business application for business, but that's what we have now and where we make money. We work a lot with our legal protection, and we have PCTs, so we are pretty much protected to go on abroad now. We have PCTs for several directions. And we're looking now for investor. We need 100 million rubles. We plan to give 25% of the company to the investor, and the breaking event will be in 4 years. And we also need investors in Israel. We have some local partner. We have some plans with him. He's the head of the chain of clinics there, and we need money to implement all that we were planning there. Thank you so much. Happy to answer your question, and I also have some extra information about our awards, about our product demand, and about some sales channels and technical conditions of certification. So please feel free to ask me questions.
Okay, thank you very much. And is it true that you earned this year $1 million?
They say our financial person
They say so. So it's already profitable on the market. So thank you very much. Here's your certificate that you successfully accomplished Calibre program. That's also the grant for the infrastructure, to use this perfect infrastructure in Technopark. Dear experts, please your questions to Alice.
First of all, congratulations, Alessia. This is first presentation that looks like a business presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Regarding the question, it's maybe a specific one, but very important for foreign markets. Who is your best customers in a foreign market? How you see, except of budgets organization, except of B2G. And another question, the same question about the data, because this is most important for projects like this, where you are storing your data, how is it protected, and if it is in compliance with the GDPR requirements. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your questions. Like the first part, speaking about the partner, I will base my answer on our experience that we have now, because you know the practice always shows something interesting for you. So we had one first sale on Singapore already, and that was with our partner, because we have another business which is about neuromarketing, and we have our free laboratories, neuromarketing laboratories in Singapore, and we have a local partner. And as they already have this experience working with neurotechnologies, they have bought it. So that's just a specific reality. Speaking about Israel, we had a plan. So maybe you are acquainted with Alexander Ginsburg, if I'm not mistaken with the surname. This is the chain of the clinics called Mishan. So for Israel, for us, that's the idea the following. We are planning to develop with him the chain of our neurotraining cabinets. We will want to work with dementia prevention. And he even had a plan, the medical plan of how to apply this. And we see there's a lot of senior people. We say 60 plus, but even like 55 plus in reality. And the good thing here that it's the business model is that it's not expensive for the end user, and it's like a fitness, you know. You cannot do it once; you have to do it always, you know. And here, having this base of the chain of the clinics, seems like perfect for us. The point here is that we need this money for implementation of the project.
I must remind you about timing.
Okay, so yeah, about the information, just the same as with the previous project, because we mostly work here and there is a law, the local law, because we have to store our information here in Russia, but that's not a problem for us, not the previous, but with the med center, yes. So that's not a problem for us to do everything on your side, on Israel side. So.
Thank you very much. One last question.
I would like to raise a question.
Rafael, please.
Are the different languages a certain barrier or challenge for the system?
No, there's no challenge in this. We were even discussing the issue of adding Chinese because we were had a lot of Chinese and Japanese because we had a lot of meetings with them and we are able to do this, and we were even discussing how to implement this. We now have, as I've told before, 6 languages, and all the basic Latin languages is like nothing for us. It's super easy. With those who have some differences, it will be some work, but we understand how to release this.
Thank you very much. And the last question I've seen.
May I pose a question? Also, first of all, thank you for the impressive presentation.
Thank you.
You mentioned a company in Austria is one of your competitors. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more about the distinction between your idea and your approach.
Sure. So as you can see, the kind of these systems, they have 2 parts, hardware and software. So the hardware that they use, that's a classical EEG that people use in hospitals. A person can't pass a lot of time in this because it's too tough. We can't use it at home, but our idea was just to develop a kind of smartphone for people with disabilities. So in our decision, people can work up to 8 hours on one charge, and it's super convenient. Plus, we have a lot of extra services, online communication, notes, some games, and people even use it, like children even use it for study. They only have a solution for patient-to-doctor communication. It's like a screen, a virtual keyboard, and they only can input messages on that screen. And that's all. And the price, our price is 2,000 euros, and their price from 8 to 10,000 euros.
I have a small question.
Wish you good luck.
Thank you.
May I have? Why did you choose Israel as an international expansion?
It's not the only interesting direction for us, It's always about some local partners, conditions, the market conditions, the policy a lot, yes, and many things. Asia is one of the interests, and we have started to work with them. But as we have our employees working there, and they're sitting in the home still, they have this bad pandemic situation, not bad pandemic situation, but they don't function at all. So Asia and Israel, because we have a good partner that supposed to be a partner. That's always about some conditions that you have in the exact market. We were looking a lot to United States. We had partners there, but our politicians, they have their own reality, so it was a challenge for us, and we stopped trying.
It seems not the largest market.
That's a good entrance. It's not about the only country that you're gonna work with, but it's Singapore is a good place to start in Asia.
Okay.
Yeah, and in Europe also we have some connections. It's not, Israel is just one of them.
Yeah, but sometimes you need to be focused. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Lisa, thank you very much. I'm really happy to see all these feedbacks and a lot of questions. And you're number one now by the feedbacks from the expert at the moment. So thank you very much. And I would like to introduce the founder of the project, Oxima, Denise. Please, the floor is yours. Also excellent project this time.
Hello everyone. Thank Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
I'm CEO of Observational Trials, most effective protection equipment for post-COVID world. One moment, please. I'll start with the presentation. So this is the future of mask. Yeah, masks become a new common. So it's a new normal. We all know these terrible numbers about people who got sick and died for COVID. And I will give you one more figure. More than 10,000 people, or more than 1,000 people dies each day in Russia. It's like 3 air crashes. So we must find some good solutions, some the really hard and ultimate technical solution of this issue. 2 years ago, our extremely experienced team got together to implement this solution, and this company. So this is hardware and IT companies, and we all have a strong experience and entrepreneurship and launching of hardware to international market and to very good cases, and we have an experience of investments and exits. What about masks? So the common masks have a huge weak points. So they don't protect your eyes, but the disease can get into your body with the mucous membranes. It has a gap between your skin and the mask. So this is the most important thing, that the people continue to inhale unfiltered air. So because of that, mask is not a solution to protect the user of this mask. It's just a solution to protect the people around it. So what about our vision? How the perfect mask could be realized? It must cover eyes. It must cover interface. Don't spoil the communication. It could be transferred, and it must be very convenient, and must be well insulated and allow the very easy breathing. You know how clean rooms works in industry. It creates your individual atmosphere with only filtered air between your around you, and as well works our mask. So this filtration system creates overpressure with the filtered air, and the people will breathe only with filtered air and will be only safe. This is how it works. So you see the swappable visor. The magnetic levitation fan will provide more than 100 liters of fresh air. It means it's enough to change air between your breath. This is filter HEPA 13 with 99.9% of efficiency, and you see that we have 2 filters for inhale and exhale filtration. This is the only mask which really have the strongest filtration for inhale, for exhale, and it keeps safe all the people who use this mask and who is around the user as well. And else we have a sterilization system for a filter. So we catch particles from the air, and we extract DNA of viruses and bacteria with the ultraviolet. And so it creates the strongest, the most innovation mask, the smartest mask at the moment. And all these advantages provides us the highest protection class in accordance of newish radiation, powered air purifying respirators. So as you see at the picture. So at the left, we see how these respirators looks like.
It's huge, it's unuseful, uncomfortable, and it's also very extremely cheap. And it's not affordable for people. But our solution is small, it's 5 times cheaper, and it provides and can be affordable for almost everyone. And most important, we can provide it to doctors and to people who meet each day diseased people in hospitals. This is a laboratory in which Russian express COVID test was invented. So we did a lot of tests with professionals, and they gave us the feedback to improve the device and user experience. And also we did a lot of marketing materials to launch a crowdfunding campaign on a Kickstarter. Crowdfunding campaign is not for sales. It's about advertising. It's a solution to tell to a large number of people about our solution and our advantages, and to see in 2022 the people in our mosque in Paris, London, New York, and Israel. And this is time to show our video.
Breathe.
Yeah, you see our website, Present.com, so you can make an order. So what about our current stage? We finished the developing of a product, and now we are in start of tooling process and launching of mass production. Next year, we are going to launch a crowdfunding campaign and create the first batch about 10,000 units. Our goal market is B2B, but it needs to medical registration and certification. So now we are in the process of medical registration procedure in Russia, and also we already got a contract for more than $2 million US dollars with the distributor who will sell our solution in Russian market. So a little more about economics. So our business model is it's like an inkjet printer, you know, to sell the device and after that to upsell with filters and additional parts. So our calculated break-even points is about 6,000 units. So as I told before, we already have a contract to reach this break-even point. And we are going to earn next 3 years about $30 million with the $10 million of profit. So this is about current needs. We finished the pre-seed round with the business angel investments. We did a lot of work, and we finished industrial designs. We're finishing medical registration. We all rights is protected. We have 2 entities in Russia and United States, and now we are going to attract investments to make a great launch. Our current needs is about $2 million. It's based on needs to about $500,000 to mass production and about $1.5 million to scaling. And what about the Israel market? So for us, it's very important, and it could be one of the most deep markets, because this country has the strongest healthcare system, very intelligent and high qualified medical workers, and it's very modern and technological developed country. So we think that Israeli people afford it, and Israel is one of the countries which wanted to provide a solution for the entire world, as we are. So we are going to we could make it together to create good device for Israel market and the good solution for worldwide. So thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'd like to answer your questions.
Denis, thank you very much. Really good day for this time product. I congratulate you that you accomplished the training process at Technopark Khalid and successfully pitched. This is also opens you a new opportunity for infrastructure. Please, questions. Who's ready to speak? Please just speak. Ariel, the floor is yours. Or someone else?
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. Looks very cool product. I wondered, so I think I missed it, maybe some part. What's the final price for each mask?
It's about $200 to $150, depending of additional parts and which improvements are used.
So who's your target? So you mainly target medical workers or just regular consumers?
Yeah, exactly. As well? It was an idea only for medical workers, but during the development, we tried to make a marketing test for the regular people, and this year we spent more than $6,000 only for marketing for an American market and Singapore and Chinese market, and we know our target audience, that the people there is an audience of the real people who want it and who could spend so much money to have the device like that.
I see. Yeah, I think obviously the price is probably the main challenge here, as I see it. But I don't know. It takes a lot of market research to understand exactly the existing solution. And still, I probably would start with medical stuff and see if it's.
Yeah, this price is only with in the start. So if we organize the large batch and mass production, it could be increased twice or more. Decreased. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much. We think it's clear. More questions, please. Eleonora, please turn on your microphone.
Yeah. Thank you for your presentation. It's very hot topic nowadays. My main question is in the field of regulations. As I know, maybe until maybe a few months ago, there is no even one product allowed by FDA with using UVC filter on individual use, because there is certain dangers in using UV on our body. So, do you have a solution for this?
Absolutely, yes.
For this question, and in combination with this question, who is your main competitor? Because there are some masks, but they are only on nose and mouth. maybe you have some competitors using all face masks. Thank you.
About TB registration, there is only for ultraviolet filters with work with the air. So then you just trap the particles in the air. So our ultraviolet diodes create radiation only for a dirty surface of the filter. So it's just an additional part for the regular filter, and we don't use it in the process of wearing a mask. We use it just for sterilization of the dirty inside of the mask after using it for replaceable of mask, and for working with it will be more safe. And
I think it is very important to stress this point at the beginning, because this is like, you know.
But for in our situation, it's not really a problem. And second question was, come again, please.
The analogs, direct analogs that cause the surface.
For a moment, this analysis is only for ultra professional devices, created especially for workers in coils.
Yes, this coal minings.
Yes, for mining industry, and there is it is extremely expensive. So we provide a solution like that, but for everyone, and it finds at least 5 times cheaper. Now it could be much more cheaper later, and it could break this market, because this solution now could be affordable for all people, not only for very rich companies and hospitals.
Another very small question: how does it influence on voice? Could people communicate with these masks?
I didn't say about it. You could next time, or if we will call each other later, I can show you how it works. You could say absolutely normally with your ordinary voice, but we are working on the sound enhancement system with active noise cancellation, because this is one of the asks of the people who work with the mask each day, and to give them opportunity to say quiet, but for everyone will hear them.
Thank you very much. Maybe I see Mikhail turned on his video. Do you have questions?
Yes, thank you for the presentation. I would like to ask, what is your main competitive edge in front of other similar products that are on the market currently, and what is your production site currently? Is it on the Russian soil or somewhere else?
So the main competitive is the highest level protection for affordable for the regular people and for regular hospitals. So you could buy it 5 times cheaper than the nearest competitor from the professional industry examples. And of course, it's not only for Russia, but obviously our first contract is in Russia, because this is our home market. But we are absolutely focused on the international market, and we're going to provide our solution for everyone. And we could produce and sell 30,000 units in month.
As I understood the question, so where are you going to produce? In Russia or outside Russia? In China, for example, in Europe? Where's the production site?
I got it. So Russia is the model market for us. So we are testing our business model here, and now our due process to organize the particles production in China, but the final implication in Russia, because it's needed to be for medical registration and medical certification. And as well, we could provide the same system for another countries to sell them parts and to organize the local combination with the local industrial partner.
I understand.
So, Mikhail,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And there is a Russian law, so if you are going to be accepted as a Russian producer, you need to have a certain percentage of assembly in Russia, what they're complying with now. But this is flexible. Thank you very much, Denis. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, experts, for your contribution. This is really valuable for us. I would like to introduce. We have two more presentations, and this one is really interesting for pharma companies and doctors. Joanna, please come to me. I introduce the head for project development, Milana Jonovic, Enroll Miru.
Can I take the remote? Hello everyone, and to those who are online with us today. My name is Milana, and I'm representing a company, Enroll Me. I'm a business development associate at this company. This company developed the largest research network in Russia that includes thousands of physicians all across Russia. And we also developed a web platform that is actually a website that includes these physicians registered and is used for the management of observational trials and different programs connected with observational trials. So what are observational trials or observational studies anyways? These studies are performed by pharmaceutical companies, and pharmaceutical companies use them for two reasons. The first reason is to collect data about their drugs and to prove that their drugs are efficient and safety. The second reason why they use observational trials is to connect with physicians and basically build networks. And using these networks, promote and advertise their drugs. And this is actually the reason why we have the constant increase in observational studies year after year, because pharmaceutical companies are directly interested in performance of these studies. Now about the company, a couple of words. I already told you that we are the largest research network if we are looking at the number of physicians we include on the platform. Basically, how does this work is that when a pharmaceutical company decides to perform an observational study, they refer to us. We connect with these physicians, we sign contracts with them and include them in the study. And this is how the study commences. Any observational studies can be performed, prospective, retrospective, and hybrid studies, because our algorithms on the platform are entirely flexible. We are a proprietary software product. We also developed our platform not only for computer, but also for tablet computers and mobile devices. We also developed a mobile application. I'm going to speak a couple of words about this in a bit. Our platform includes a lot of instruments, modules, and databases. And since we care about the quality of data, we have special administrators that on a regular basis check what these physicians fill in, check the data, but we also have automatic system that checks the data if the data is correctly filled in. I mentioned a couple of slides before that we also developed a mobile application. This mobile application is used to communicate directly with patients and can be used in two different ways. The first way in which this mobile application can be used is to be used directly in observational studies. This is a study where physicians are included with pharmaceutical company. That means physicians are directly in communication with physicians, and then physicians are in communication with pharmaceutical companies. So in this case, a pharmaceutical company needs to pay some money for these physicians in order to register their patients. But if we, or pharmaceutical company, opts for the second option to perform open community-based studies, in that case, we don't have physicians, so pharmaceutical companies can maintain direct communication with their patients, promote their drugs, make them fill different surveys, and so on. And in this case, it would be much more cost-effective for pharmaceutical companies. We are aware that we have 3 partner alliances at the moment. We're especially proud of them. So we have long-term collaborations with 3 largest Russian institutions in the sphere of medicine, and that is specifically in the fields of cardiology, oncology, and ophthalmology. We observe not only drugs, but also medical devices. And let's take a look what our clients say about us, their reviews and their feedback. First of all, they think that we are a great team that is 24/7 available to them. We have great administrators, never ever anything went wrong. Then they told us that it's very easy to use our platform, that it's user-friendly. There were never any complaints coming from physicians, comparing to our competitors. What is our plan for the next year and also for the future? First of all, we are thinking of expanding our market. We are an operational company, so we are currently not looking for investments. Second, we are planning on developing a new data capture systems using various wearable devices, for example, smartwatches. Might be some of them. Then we're planning on, this is going to be in the beginning of next year, 2022, launching and supporting the National Registry in Russia of Observational Studies. This is going to be the first one of such a kind in Russia. It is something similar to clinicaltrials.org for those who are familiar with that. And also we're looking for new client deals from middle and big pharma, including Israel. All in all, we're looking for strategic business partners primarily. And to sum up and to conclude this presentation, I would say that we offer Israel, let's say, two offers. The first one is that we would like to connect with Israeli companies, pharmaceutical, primarily to ask them if they would like possibly to perform middle and big pharma to perform observational studies in Russia and in the Eurasian Economic Union. That is the first option. If that doesn't work, we can also translate our platform into Hebrew and offer our platform in Israel. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would be more than happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much. Dear experts, please, your questions. And Milana, I congratulate you with this certificate that you accomplished Kaliber Technopark training process and the program. Oh, please, questions.
Hello. Thank you very much for your presentation. I have one question for you. It's about quality of data. How we can guarantee quality of data? Because for every area of the studies, it's very complicated first, and it's very important second.
I guess your question concludes here. So how do we guarantee the quality of data that is collected on the platform?
Yeah.
So first of all, so there are, let's say, kind of two mechanisms how we control the data. The first mechanism is that physician can't close the survey if it's a survey in question. Can't close the survey unless everything is completed. So this is like, let's say, an automatic algorithm. This is like the first step. Second step, if some data is filled in the survey, but we kind of can't know whether this is correct or not, if this is some kind of, random keystroke or reasonable information, we use our administrators for constantly checking these surveys and all the data that is filled on the platform. So we have living persons who are actually checking individual dossiers of these patients. And we can, I just wanted to add up on this. A study can't be closed unless everything is checked, and everything is checked on a regular basis. If there is some sort of glitch, or if the data is not correct, any physician would be contacted and would receive a notification.
I believe that was a good answer to Dmitri's question. Please.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if you're interested, of course, we will connect you to this project. Other questions? Please, one question, because we have certain time limits. Yes.
Yeah, Mike, thank you very much for your great presentation and great product. My question is regarding your first slide. You mentioned on it your collaboration with Bayer, and also it was FDA logo. What is your cooperation or contacts with FDA? And the second question inside this one, is your solution going in compliance with the good research practice, GRP, and FDA protocols? Thank you.
Thanks. So I'm going to first answer first question, Bayer. This is our contractor, so we license out our platform to Bayer. So Bayer is one of our clients. That is answer to your first question. Second, about FDA, you will receive our slides, and you can see that our platform is completely compliant with the requirements not only of Russian legislation, but also FDA and GAMP5. This is in terms of systems for the management of clinical trials. So we can say that our platform we can say that our platform is sort of a platform for the management of clinical trials. This is why we reference directly to these requirements.
Milana, thank you very much. Lenora, thank you very much. Hope to continue communication with experts from Ariel University in 2022. And please just ask if you need to be contacted further, we will arrange this. Ariel, do you have a short question? I see, or can we postpone it?
Yes, okay. Thank you again for the presentation. Could you just again elaborate about your business model?
Okay, so we are an operational company. So we are kind of already obtaining the market in Russia. So for Russia, this is the end of the story. Now we're expanding our business. And what we're looking for in this program in Ariel University is looking for contacts and looking for building contacts and networks with decision makers so that we can speak with medical faculty, we can speak with research organizations, pharma, medtech. So any sort of companies that might be interested in performing these trials in Russia, alternatively, use our platform in Israel.
Thank you very much, Milana. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce Eugene Rostov, the CEO of GC Group. Eugene, please, the floor is yours.
Dear colleagues, good afternoon. Shalom Israel. My presentation, okay. My name is Eugene Rostov. And I like to, so far I'm still in GC Group. GC Group is a group of technological companies. We established in 1998, and during this period of time, made more than 1,500 projects, and with budget more than $250 million. And we are a resident of Technopark Kaliber. On this speech, I'd like to introduce you rather quantitative analysis of solution by surface intense Raman spectroscopy. It's one of the methods, precise method of analysis, and it's in scientist community it's known method, but all researchers who work with it now mainly pay attention for the physical part of the method of the phenomena. But we also spend attention to chemical part, adatom hypothesis, and this is a combination of these two parts to give us very exciting and stable results. This method working for different spheres, but we decide to concentrate now on in vitro diagnostic market. This is global market, growing very well last few years, and COVID-19 also speed up this growing. Nothing new, new method or devices not exist in last few years on this market, but market needs more accurate and universal solution. This is just a short, comparing with main method which currently used in vitro is chromatography. What advantages of us? We are more precise. It's very important to receive more precise, to find the small part of components in liquids, in solutions, and for example, for early diagnostic of oncology or something else. And also measurement speed is, but we are now have results in 8-12 hours, but we can speed up to 1 hour. And also it's important the multiple results in one measurement. We can to measure few different components up to 100. And device cost, future device cost, because the main goal to us to produce a device which will be competitive on the market, and this device will cost less than $20,000 US dollars, when analogous now cost more than $50,000. So this is short roadmap for next few months, and what we plan to do. We spent for the research more than 10 years, I will understand. We spent more than $6 million of our money for the research. But now the research is finished, and we need to do, we have laboratory prototype, but we need to finalize prototype, do MVP, and test market, and go on. It's our brief capital needs for the next couple of years, and what we are looking for now, we are looking for partners and investors, because against our honest, for our business angels financial not enough to going for the product to the market. But we are also not only financial, but we also some partners who will help us to go into the worldwide market. This is our team. We have two part of the team, two part of the brain. One of is a scientist. This is Alexander Bartan and Igor Fetisov, who is do main research, and another part of the brain is business and administrative, and my person, and Svetlana, she's also with us now. So, it's short 5-minute speech, and here are my contacts, and I will ready to answer any question. I will ready to answer any question, and thank you for your attention. Toda raba, and have a good New Year. Thank you.
Evgeny, thank you very much. This is your certificate that you successfully accomplished training process at Calibre Technopark. So please, questions. Leonora, this is your question.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions. First of all, I was surprised with your starting point because I know that such instruments are in wide use. Spectrophotometry with based on Raman is very wide used in laboratories. There are some very large producers like Fisher or is Touch is very active in this field. So I'm curious, what is your competitive advantage? And another question: how you already protect or going to protect your competitive advantage technology here for the global market? Thank you.
Thank you, Leonora. Thank you for your question. Yes, the Raman is already used in different kinds of, but we, as I show you, first of all, some Raman spectrography used only for special components. And another one, we have more precise and more accurate and few times than any devices already exist. And this work was a long time, began a long time ago at Karpov Institute in Moscow, and unfortunately, Rem Vasilievich Lazarenko-Manevich, who is main ideologue of this technology, leave us last year. But we for now we have all results of our competition, and we have it's not possible to show it on this short speech, but I can provide you with all information, more detailed information about each and what our advantages is. I'll send you more detailed report if you need. Yeah. And concerning the protect, yes, it's also a good question. We I didn't remember, but probably we received few US patent for this, but it was more than 10 years ago, and we support this few years, but for now it's unsupported, and we need to renew this, and we need to really we need to help from some partners, because for now this project is too hard for us to keep it on our плечах, не знаю как сказать.
Our shoulders.
Our shoulders, yeah.
Do you have other questions from other experts?
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Leonora, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a very good presentation and a very good product. We are aimed to continue cooperation with Ariel University and partners, such as Moscow Seed Fund. We will continue in 2022. There were not all projects that were pre-selected. I will remind you that there was around 17 projects pre-selected, and today we saw only 7 projects, and other presentations will be invited to further sessions with Ariel University. I would like to thank all partners, experts, and dear participants, and to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy coming New Year. Thank you very much. Online session is over, and now we have a networking session for those who are here at Technopark Kalibu. Mikhail, thank you very much for your participation.
Happy New Year. С Новым годом.